Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And there's a lot going on in the game right now, that's for sure, with all the festivities going on for the game's 10th anniversary. But one thing that managed to slip by me was a little deal in the Armory right now. And it is potentially a pretty good deal on a Tier 8 premium ship. So we're going to go over this today, talk about what you get in this sequential bundle, and whether or not you may want to spend some cashola on it. So before we do, though, if you wouldn't mind going down below, dropping a like, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel, especially if you like being made aware of these deal videos where we go over, whatever's going on in the Armory and talk about whether or not it's worth throwing some money at the game. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more of that. All three of those actions, of course, help out tremendously so on the YouTube algorithm. So I greatly appreciate it if you do that. Alright, so if you head on over to the Armory, and if you look at the featured section, which, again, there's a lot going on in the game at the moment, you head on down to all the way to the bottom, well, not all the way to the bottom, underneath the Kushiro offering there, you'll find a sequential bundle. Now, it does start out with a bit of a letdown with the Distant Voyages container, because this container is inherently worthless, because you just get some camos from it. Granted, of course, there are some pretty cool camos in here if you are into the cosmetics and such, but these don't really have much value beyond selling them for credit, so I guess it's really like a credit container, if anything, but it does only cost 500 doubloons. But anyway, after that, there's a series of containers and goodies and such, and I'll just read through what you can get all in all in this sequential bundle. So you get one Distant Voyage container, like I said, not too much value there, just cosmetics. But all in all, at the end of this sequential bundle, you will get 12,000 coal, which is pretty nice. And then you can get 3 of the uncommon bonuses, the green economic bonuses. You get 3 of those for each of the various XPs and the credits. The Moonlight Wave permanent camo, which, again, unfortunately is worth, well, nothing. 12,500 free XP, which, hey, yeah, that's free XP at least. 3 days of premium time, which is great. Premium time, said it 1,000 times here on the channel. I'm going to say it 1,000 times more. Premium time is simply the best way in game to ensure that you are making a profit when you're playing, especially when it comes to credits. You can get this ship, you can get that premium ship, you can get whatever, but premium time is, you will make money. Unless you die in the first 2 minutes of the game and do literally nothing, you will make money with premium time. You get 3 days of it here included in this sequential bundle. The Radiant Wave permanent camo, which again, unfortunately, is just kind of credits, really, unless you do want the Radiant Wave permanent camo. I'm like, it looks decent and all that jazz, but it is a camo, unfortunately. 75,000 Elite Commander XP, which that's always helpful. I mean, I'm sure many of you are working on your 21-point commanders, and a nice little injection of Elite Commander XP never hurts for sure. You get 3 of each of the rare economic bonuses. These are the blue ones. This is where it starts to get very good when it comes to boosting your credit income. The green ones are a nice little bonus. I just have so many of them. That's typically what I run on my ships. But the blue ones, that's like, all right, I want to make some cash now. You get 3 of each of those of the various XP bonuses and the credits bonus. And then you get a signal pack, which is pretty good. Combat signal flags are a big credit sink in this game. Obviously you want your ship to be in tip-top shape when you're heading on into battle, and you want to get all the bonuses you can, especially if you're playing something like ranked or clan battles, and these signals can get very expensive, even if you just want to run them in random battles so you have the best performing ship. You get 15 of each of the combat signals with this pack of signals, so that's pretty cool. And then you get a firepower container. This is where it gets a little bit interesting, because with the firepower container, you can get, well, you could potentially get one of many tier 10 premium ships, like the Defense, Mosfa, Immelman, Napoli, Salem, Yoshino, Malta, U4501, Bazan, Caparos, Marceau, Incheon, Brisbane, Sherman, and Hayate are in the firepower premium container. So that's pretty cool. Even if it doesn't drop a ship, you could potentially get some red economic bonuses. You can get 8 of them out of this container if you get lucky enough for that. Or 16 of the blue economic bonuses. Or another 15,000 coal, 37,000 commander XP, 120,000 free XP. In addition to the third slot potentially dropping another 37,500 elite commander XP, 12,500 free XP, or 900,000 credits. So either way, the firepower premium containers are usually a pretty good pull depending upon what you get. But like, even if you just get like, you know, the almost a million credits or 37,000 elite commander XP or 12,500 free XP, you know, it's not a small chunk of XP either way. So that's the first highlight of the sequential bundle. And then the blue explosion effect is in here as well, which unfortunately is just you know, it's another cosmetic, so not too much value there besides again selling it. And then the Conqueror permanent camo Celebration, which again is unfortunately a cosmetic, right? So not too much value there yet again besides credits. And then finally, the real big attraction is the premium ship tier 8 container. So this is a container that will drop a tier 8 premium ship, which that by itself, depending upon what level of rarity you get, most of them are uncommon premiums. So 11,300 is what a tier 8 premium ship costs nowadays. So this right here, you know, this is worth 11,300 doubloons by itself because you will get at least an uncommon tier 8 premium ship. There's a ton of ships in this container that you could potentially get. Again, you got some uncommon ones, some rare ones, and then some epic ones with like the champagne being in here. And obviously those are worth a lot more. So like if you pull like a champagne out of this, you've definitely gotten your money out of this bundle. So all in all, how much does this cost? Well, if you want to get all the way to the end where you can get the premium ship, it does cost 16,200 doubloons. Now that is a decent bit. But I mean, again, the bulk of that is the 11,300 doubloons for the tier 8 premium ship. So really, you're paying another 4,900 doubloons on top of the premium ship. So you're paying 4,900 doubloons, $19 for the 12,000 coal, the 12,300 free XP, the 3 days of premium time, the 75,000 elite commander XP, the rare bonuses, the uncommon bonuses, and the signal pack, which that right there isn't really a bad deal for, you know, a tier 8 premium ship and then all of that. But do keep in mind too, there's a firepower container on top of that as well. So that's pretty close to breaking even right there. Obviously, if you pull a tier 10 ship out of that firepower premium container, then you've definitely, you know, you definitely come out way ahead because you got the tier 8 premium ship and then you got a tier 10 premium ship on top of that. So in terms of doubloon value, you've definitely won right then and there. And of course, if you want to throw in, you know, the other camos and such, you can, because yeah, we're going to sell those for doubloons. So there's doubloon value there one way or another, even though again they're just cosmetics and don't have any impact on your in-game economy anymore. All in all, it's not a bad deal in my opinion, as in you will definitely get the doubloon value out of this sequential bundle. Of course, if you get really lucky, then you can get, you know, well over what, like triple the doubloon value of this bundle. You know, again, if you pull like a tier 10 ship, yeah, obviously that's a possibility. Now, even though it's not a bad deal doubloon-wise in terms of the doubloon value of what you get versus the doubloons that you spend, is it something you should really go, you know, out of your way to spend your money on right now? Probably not. I mean, unless you really want, you know, the tier 8 ship and the firepower container. Yeah, I mean, the firepower container is obviously a pretty big draw, and let me just check real quick. So if you want to get up to the firepower container, it's only 5,700 doubloons, which is what, a little bit over $20 worth of doubloons to get. You get all the coal, you get everything except for the blue explosion enemy effect, and the celebration camo for Conqueror. So you get everything except for that and the tier 8 premium container. That's not terrible. You know, you get the 12,000 coal, the 12,500 free XP, the premium time, the signal flags, and the economic bonuses. That's not a terrible deal right in in there. But of course, they're going to stick that tier 8 premium container 2 slots down after the blue destruction effect and the Conqueror camo, right? Wargaming's perfected. We're going to let you get this close with a pretty good deal, but if you go a little bit more, spend a little bit more money, you can get a premium ship, right? They've perfected the art of that. But is it something that I think you should go out of your way to get? Definitely not. There's better things going on right now for you to spend your doubloons on that you can get more out of, like the Laffy Dockyard. Obviously, you spend a couple thousand doubloons, you get the Laffy on top of everything that you get by grinding through the event. But, you are being handed a bunch of free doubloons right now with the anniversary tokens, right? So maybe if you're in the market and you just have some doubloons to spend, it's definitely not, you're going to get your doubloons value worth out of this sequential bundle. Like if you need to restock on signal flags, you want a few more blue economic bonuses, and maybe pick up some red economic bonuses from that firepower container, sure. The 12,000 coal is obviously very nice as well. That's always useful for your next coal ship or whatever, and you can go up to the 9th stage and only spend 1,800 doubloons and get 12,000 coal. Like, that's really not bad. 1,800 doubloons is what? Is that even like that's not even $10. It's a little over $5 worth of doubloons for 12,000 coal. Yeah, you could definitely do that and stop there. I would probably recommend doing that, at least if you're, like almost there to a coal ship, and you're okay with spending, $5 to finish, not to finish, but to get that last little bit of coal that you need for your coal ship. That's definitely not a bad deal. Yeah, and you'll get the premium time as well as the Elite Commander XP on top of that as well. So, not a bad deal in terms of doubloon value, but not something that you need to, go break down your door and go buy this right now type of dealio. But yeah, again, you can get pretty lucky, get a tier 8 premium ship for sure, maybe get a tier 10 ship in the firepower container. That is totally a possibility. And of course, anytime these firepower containers go up, I do know there's a fair few amount of players that do very much want to acquire them when they do go up. But yeah, that's this sequential bundle. They don't have a name for it or anything. It's just in the feature tab. So if you want to check it out there. Just thought we'd run through it real quick in today's video and go over what you get in it. So let me know in the comments down below if you're taking part in this or you're passing on it. And if you do take part in it, let us know what you do get out of that firepower container if you got lucky with a ship, or if you wound up with a bunch of economic bonuses, which, getting 16 blue economic bonuses isn't really, a terrible thing either, right? Or obviously the red ones are very, very much desirable. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful Tuesday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.